This is part 2 to my video on No Man's Sky. And in this video, I want to talk specifically about certain elements of the game that I think could be improved. This is not me panning the game. I mean, it could be, but it's really constructive criticism. And I think, the best way of looking at this is to look at it positively and use it for, future iterations of the game or simply for someone else to improve on. So, one specific thing is the fact that, like, when you land on a planet, almost all the time, all of these animals literally will be like feet away from you, sometimes inches. Some of them will run, others will be like right next to you. Now, that rarely ever happens in real life. I mean, I just find that very unrealistic. Obviously, they want to show off the new, randomly generated creatures of the planet, but it just seems very unrealistic. Most likely, if they get so close, they will either attack you or they will run away. As soon as you land, they'll notice you. They'll probably scatter, or at least do something to you. But it just seems very unrealistic. Furthermore, I think the whole there's a lot of models that are very simplistic in nature. Like all the animals are pretty much like these cuddly, things, whether they're dinosaurs or variations of. They're pretty much variations of standard Earth animals, which I think is not even a good representation of the diversity of Earth animals. So, I would say there's so much possibilities out there for alien animals. So, I don't really like that lack of diversity there. And more so than that, here's the big kicker. There's a lack of a lot of big, you know, dangers to any true explorer. It simply seems to me like when this guy lands on a planet, he's in full control. He has this whole outfit, this like plasma gun, all this stuff. But, you know, quite frankly, in reality, and you don't even have to go to different planets to experience this. I would think that alien planets, if they are out there, which I think they are, they have certain levels of diversity that would blow your mind, where things are even more dangerous than you can even comprehend. Just existing on a planet, you're put into danger because if you breathe that air, it could be filled with all sorts of microorganisms and chemicals and microscopic things that you are unaware of or that did not exist on Earth that could cause all sorts of alien diseases that could destroy your system, alien flu, all sorts of crap like that, as well as weird environments and habitats that make no sense, because there's nothing like that on Earth. I mean, just look at Earth itself. If you go to if you go into the deep jungle of the Amazon or wherever else, there are some very scary areas where you are in danger. Even if you have like a plasma gun and a suit and all this stuff, there's all sorts of crap that you don't understand that you have to deal with. Sinkholes and weird animals and creatures that will literally eat you and are not scared of you at all. And small animals and insects and creatures that will just like literally kill you or infect you or destroy you in ways you don't even comprehend. Infections, gangrene, frostbite, all sorts of crap like that. And I don't see that diversity or danger or mystery in these planets. From what I can tell from the game, it seems to be a fairly jolly, happy, fun game with a certain level of simplicity in the diversity of what's going on. Again, having said all that, this is something, it's still an incredible game. I don't think anything along these lines has been done, and I truly applaud them for such a small team to generate such a universe. Like, a lot of the stuff in the game is just incredible. Like, if you just look around in some of these planets, just looking at the terrain and the things flying by and the animals running, it almost seems real in certain ways. Like all those small things, like the flowers on the terrain, the grass, the fact that these actually are actual planets that you can spend weeks or months walking and exploring. That's incredible. Having said that, though, I do think, there's so much potential for this game. And I think this first iteration is, it's only spelling what can come. And it really depends on where they choose to take this. It could remain this sort of simplistic, cartoonish, fun game in certain ways, or it can expand to something greater. And if it's not this video game developer who does it, I have faith that one day someone will create something like this, but on another level completely. What I mean by this is like there's so much potential out there. Like literally, like honestly, I've seen a lot of footage of the game and a lot of planets, and they all seem fairly similar. You get the ocean, land. I mean, some planets are obviously very toxic and so forth. But I mean, the diversity out there should be incredible. Like literally planets or you know places where it's all green and there's nothing but all this like um, foliage and vines everywhere, and then planets where the whole thing's a big ocean and there's like 1,000-foot waves and 1,000-foot whirlpools and all sorts of crazy stuff coming down at you. Like that all should be in the game. And then there should be planets where there's like deserts and you can literally construct some sort of transportation device to go around there and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. So, I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, that's really not gonna, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it should be there. Like, if you really just explore the diversity of Earth, you should see that already. And I would say, if they bring on a biologist or a climatologist, these people could help in future installments of the game. Um, just from what I can tell, there will be a lot of diversity in this game and a lot of things to do, but there's so much more potential here. And having said all that, I do think this is an incredible game. It's going to be very fun. There's a lot you can do. You can battle, you can steal, you can kill animals, you can discover, you can explore, you can fight. It's an incredible game. I mean, there's even, you can even loot elements from other people. You can steal stuff. You can, take down others. It's an incredible game. But, having said all that, I do think there's even more potential for this game. And, I mean, what do you think? If you could add stuff to this game, what would you add? Leave it in the comments below. And the last thing I want to say is that there's certain elements of the game that I would say they're so complicated that I don't think it would be feasible for a developer with our current technology to add. But maybe in a few years, a few decades, because in reality, if you look at human civilization, it's very complex and there's so many other elements to it. So if they can add a whole bunch of that other stuff in, like the internet systems and wireless technology, all sorts of crazy stuff. Like there's so much potential for this game. Like hoverboards, video technology, infrared, all sorts of stuff. So I mean, they could even make it something where you can build houses, you can mine the ground, you can dig holes in the ground. And I think if they open it up like that, like they did on Minecraft in certain ways, this could turn from one game into a whole franchise or, empire similar to what Minecraft has done. So that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.